So I've been watching some of Peter Lindemann's videos, and I just finished watching his talk on cold electricity, secrets of cold electricity. And he goes through the grey motor and how it works and some of Tesla's stuff. So I got tired of replicating, and I figured I'm going to do some of my own stuff for a bit. So what I've set up here is just a frequency generator. I've had this one in different videos before. It's running at about 735 hertz. Not that it really matters as to what frequency it really runs, although I'm sure there will be different effects given different frequencies. So I have it about 1% duty cycle, between 5 and 1%. I'm just going to put it on 5 for now. And I've got it set up so that this battery here basically runs through this coil. It's an ignition coil from old ignition cars. I think they still sell them on eBay. But it creates a high voltage spike that then goes into your ignition coil. And in this case, I've got the hot end, or the high voltage end, just in the water, isolated by the glass, and I just spilled water some places. That's fine. That's the scope that we're getting. There's a lot of high voltage floating around. This thing can't capture it all. It's getting quite confused as to what's going on, especially since we have a floating ground. Yeah, just wanted to play around with this cold electricity that Lindemann and Tesla used to talk about. I mean, this is high voltage, you can see. And even if you probe that, it's high voltage. And the other way to tell that it's high voltage is if you just get a normal LED. And I do believe that it does not matter which end you put in where, because you can just light it between you and the water. And I'll turn it around and light it the other way. So it's an AC signal. And you can definitely tell it's very high voltage, at least 70 volts, because this is a neon that lights at about 70 volts to about 140 volts. And there she is, lit as I'm holding her in the water. So cold electricity is quite safe as long as that pulse duration is very, very, very low. Now this one does let me go even lower, which I'm surprised, but you can actually go down to 0 and the bloody thing still works. Although, you know, I don't think it's 0, but it must be something. And yeah, you can hear it ringing there. But yeah, so basically I just want to experiment and see what happens to different elements, different things with cold electricity. As Tesla did in his presentations and his lectures, although Lindemann says that he couldn't find them. Tom Verlaine was the one that wrote about it. How cold electricity has very different effects on matter and things than hot electricity, obviously. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. That's going to be my next kind of, you know, we can reproduce cold electricity at very low voltages now, as in on the front end. So like this battery's not going to be pulling much, especially since it's dead, sitting at about 10 volts. It fluctuates, it's damaged, it's dead, but as we all know, when they're dead, they're not actually dead. And the signal generator is only pulling about 0.1 of a watt, so it's not really drawing much. Specifically since, you know, it doesn't have to be on for much. This bloody light takes up more of the power than anything. But yeah, so not a lot of power going through. We've got hot water, neon that can light neons. So my next tests would be to, as you can see, she's lit on the water side. I know, directly in between which is quite fascinating because often they'll only turn on one side or the other, and this one is very much in between. Let's put the resistor side in. Now I do have other ones. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to zoom in on it, but yeah, let me see if I can get another one. Alright, so I've got this one, doesn't have a resistor, it's a lot bigger. You can see how close those are connected. This one's pretty cool because it does a little dance. For a second there I thought it was doing it with my heartbeat, but no, it's not my heartbeat. You can see it's just lighting in between them and not fully. I may have to ground this, and yeah, lots of experiments to do, but yeah, that's something interesting. So yeah, that's basically what I'm up to at the moment. There's nothing really interesting out there to replicate at the moment. If anybody does have any ideas, then let me know. I'll need a link to a video and proper schematics and things like that of how to build it. Otherwise, I can replicate from a video, but it takes a long time, so it's got to be interesting for me to try and replicate it from just like the video with no schematics and no instructions on how to build it. But yeah, all right,